Join us as we uncover the secrets of one of history's most iconic cities. Our journey takes us to the banks of the Nile River in ancient Egypt, where we meet Cleopatra, the last active pharaoh of Egypt. It's the year 30 BC, and Cleopatra is in her final moments. She ruled over Egypt at a time when the country was under threat from the expanding Roman Empire. She has an elite guard of 600 women warriors at her command, each skilled in the art of war. She could flee to the Temple of Isis, a sacred site that was off limits to the Romans, or she could surrender and hope for the best. But instead, she decides to stay and fight. The two women exchange gifts and pleasantries, but it's clear that Cleopatra is a prisoner. She's forced to watch as her son Caesarion is taken away to be educated in Rome. She plots with her former lover, Mark Antony, to escape and reclaim her throne. But the plan fails and Cleopatra is captured once again. He offers her the same deal, banishment in exchange for her life and fortune. But Cleopatra refuses. They're armed with bows, arrows, and swords, and they're ready to fight. But Cleopatra knows that it's a losing battle. Despite facing numerous challenges, Cleopatra managed to hold on to power and preserve Egyptian culture. She stares back at the crowd, her eyes blazing with defiance. In that moment, Octavian realizes he has underestimated her. He had thought to humiliate and break her, but he has only made her more determined. Knowing that Octavian wants to make her an example to other would-be rebels, she allows him to parade her through the streets of Rome. She makes a grand entrance on a golden chariot, dressed in the finest robes and jewels. The crowd cheers, and Octavian basks in the glory of his conquest. But ultimately, she was defeated, and Egypt was annexed into the Roman Empire. She's just given birth to her son and heir Caesarion, and is preparing for her final stand against the Roman invaders. Her spirit may have been broken, but her legacy lives on. The forces are outnumbered and outgunned, but she's determined to defend her kingdom until the very end. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe for more. Be sure to visit our website for more historical tales. Until next time, remember, history is not just about dates and battles. It's about the people who lived, loved, and died in a time long ago. She's allowed to keep her fortune and her life, but she's banned from seeing her son. As she looks out over the Nile, she knows that her time is running out. Cleopatra's story is one of power, resilience, and ultimately tragedy. As the Roman army closes in on the city, Cleopatra and her forces take up their positions. With the city under siege, Cleopatra's options are limited. The battle is fierce, but the Egyptian army is no match for the Roman invaders. Cleopatra watches in horror as her soldiers are killed or captured. She tries to rally them, but it's no use. The Egyptians are overwhelmed and the city is soon overrun by the Romans. Cleopatra is taken to Caesar's palace, where she's met by his wife, Julia. Cleopatra spends her final days in luxurious captivity. The once powerful pharaoh has been reduced to a puppet. But Cleopatra is not one to give up without a fight. This time she's brought before Octavian, Caesar's adopted son and heir. She has one last trick up her sleeve. But Cleopatra has one last surprise. She refuses to come down from her chariot. And so Cleopatra's story ends not with a whimper, but a roar. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time.